Dear members of the Directors Board, dear professors, dear colleagues, it is my honor to welcome you to the PhD presentation with the topics Immersive Learning Systematics, Enhancing Robotics Education. My name is Horst Orsolits from the University of Applied Sciences, Technikum Wien, and this work is supervised by the Professor Paulo Oliveira and Professor Maximilian Lackner. The International Federation of Robotics predicts an increase of 50% of workers will be working with robots within the next 10 years within the manufacturing field. So there is a demand and an increasing demand on robotic skills of future engineers and manufacturing workers within Europe. On the other hand, we can see that immersive technologies have reached a maturity level to be introduced into classrooms and education, where typically the most common benefits, which can be found in literature, and we found out ourselves within our university as well, that when you use extended reality like mixed reality or virtual reality in education setups, that it shows an improved motivation of students, an improved or perceived performance, and subjective satisfaction is measurable, as well as an improved engagement toward the topics, which could be especially interesting for robotics education. Problem is that there is a wide area of tools and technologies for extended realities like virtual reality and augmented reality, as well as the software development tools for those solutions. As I mentioned, we have done the research within our university as well, which shows a highly appreciation and willingness to use these tools on the student side. On the professors, on the educators side, we can typically detect the high rejection rate, where mostly the argument of I don't have enough time to use these tools, it's too complicated to use these tools in my classroom is the answer. We have done some applications on our own as well within our university, where we use augmented and mixed reality to deal with topics like fundamental of robotics, explaining the kinematic serial chain, or inverse kinematics and the work envelope, or safety and security topics within collaborative robots as well. All this work have been accompanied by research and questionnaire towards the students, where again it co-lines with the results in literature. We can measure a higher understanding or a better understanding of the fundamentals of robotics, as well as a higher motivation to use these tools and a higher interest for robotics in general. So the tools work, but for starters, it's too complicated right now to start on the educator side by introducing those tools. And we can see in literature, as well as we experienced it ourselves, that all these tools and all professors who are willing to share their results and publish their results follow different methods, different approaches. There is no common methodology. There is no common starting point for educators to introduce and realize extended reality solutions in their classrooms. So the contribution I'm aiming for with my PhD is to answer the following research questions. What are the benefits and the barriers for virtual learning environments in extended realities education in robotics, which is pretty much done so far. Next question is, how does the status quo look like in robotics education within Europe, roughly around high school age and universities? And the biggest question is, how can a standardization of tool sets for creating such experiences be approached? I'm thinking of a case-based reasoning system, and how can this tool then enable other educators in the field of robotics to use mixed reality or virtual reality for their education? This is my time plan. Literature review is ongoing. A part of it is pretty much done, and the robotics landscape is under development right now. Also, I started the research of methodologies and use cases for immersive teaching as a fundament, as a database for robotics education systems. And next year, I plan to develop the case-based reasoning system or an expert system as a support tool for fellow educators. And finally, I want to evaluate this tool with other colleagues in the use of extended reality for robotics education. The curriculum plan, I finished the research theory and methodology, as well as the thesis planning and scheduling part 1. Part 2 and the seminar is going to be finished today here at this beautiful location, and the other two options are already as a work in progress. So finally, the graphical abstract to sum it up. We see an increase of robotic skills, of a demand of robotic skills within the next years. We see that mixed reality has reached a maturity level already. Combining those facts, I want to develop a framework based on existing solutions and methods to come up with an expert systems for fellow educators as a starting point, as a guideline on how to introduce those tools, immersive technologies, into their robotics education, finally hopefully resulting in a wider range of improved robotic skills. These are my references. I thank you very much for your attention, and I'm happy to answer your questions right now. Thank you.